Hey everybody, welcome to part 4 of how to choose a BCD. Hey, if you're just starting right here, you forgot a whole bunch of cool information. Go check out part 1, 2, and 3. Enjoy. You're going to be able to choose male, female, or universal. I would say like the wing. It's kind of hard to find a female backplate. It's kind of a universal backplate, okay? But when you get into the different BCDs, jacket styles, and back inflates that are already set up, then you can get different ones, okay? How about the fit and the finish? It's not easy to explain, but this is important to a lot of people. How about having comfort edging on straps? Right? A lot of the back inflate BCDs and jacket style BCDs, they'll put a padded edge that goes around your neck so it doesn't chafe you. How about easy to slide buckles and straps? Quite often, you think, I'm going to get a metal buckle. But you know what? Those are a little harder to move and to pull on than some of these really slippery nylock or nylon style D-rings and straps and buckles. They're meant to slide really, really easy. Okay? Ergonomic angles. I know that sounds crazy, but that is a little bit of the difference between a male and a female BCD. Male shoulders are typically wider. Straps are going to come straight, more straight. Women are a little bit narrower on the top, usually, and the straps come at an angle so that when they come down, they can avoid the breasts on the side. You can pull them down, and they cinch down the side. That can be very comfortable, okay? So the straps should be padded. I love a padded strap versus, that's a heavy tank. And when you're out of the water, it's kind of digging into your shoulders. Now, if you have a thick suit, that's okay. Tank bands. Okay, so here's a feature. It's one of my pet peeves. I'm going to show you something. Now, this is a Cressy. This particular design, I think, is a little bit of a mistake. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say it, but the tank band on the bottom is kind of bulky, the thickness of this buckle, and it's at the bottom of the BCD. And then they have a strap up here that's Velcro that's pretty heavy duty. That's good. Then you have a strap on the top that you put around your tank. So what difference does it make? Many of the BCDs that had dual tank bands on the back and they have a buckle on the bottom, consider this. Probably more than 90% of all the tank holders on recreational dive boats around the world are a giant PVC pipe. And it's kind of cut out. Well, if you mount your BCD on your tank and it's cinched down and you try to slide it in there with the buckle on the bottom, it won't go in. Okay? Actually, we've had a few of the manufacturers that, as a result of our testing, which I'm proud of, have made the change to their BCD. Now, some of them have the tank bands where you can interchange them. You can disassemble, slide it out, switch it the way you want it, put the Velcro one on the bottom. Some of them, if they have two, which they're out there, they have two buckles, one on the top, one on the bottom, you can take the bottom one off and you put your own Velcro strap on there, okay? I'm just saying it's something to think about where the tank bands are. That particular Cressy, it's stitched. You can't undo it, you can't change it. That's a mistake. Cressy, if you're watching, fix that, please. All of us divers want it. Okay? So anyway, cummerbund or no cummerbund, you decide. Or both straps, you decide. Sometimes they're just not comfortable. Now we'll talk a little bit about really a cool feature that I see growing in the dive world, and that is integrated weight pockets or pouches. You see this BCD has the pockets that you can pull out. What do they look like by themselves? There's the pocket. You load that with weight, you slide it in there, it clicks in there, and you can pull them out really quick and easy, okay? Then you have pouches, like on the BioLite right there, that little plastic clip down on that pouch, when you click that, just the lead falls out. No separate pocket to retrieve. And why is that important? Pockets are expensive. They're 28 bucks, okay? 30 bucks, 40 bucks, some of them, $45. I've even seen them into the 50s for one pocket. If you lose that, it's gone, okay? Then you saw the last one with the Ziegel. That one had those red handles. You just pull that out. It just kind of pulls a cord out, and it dumps pouches. Nothing to lose, nothing to have to buy, just the lead that you dumped, okay? And then I mentioned on the jacket styles, for example, you have non-dumpable weight pouches. So this is a pouch you can buy to attach to your tank band. You put some lead in there. You can't dump it while you're diving. This one has, under that little red flap, it has a little pouch there for you to slide your weight in. It's non-dumpable. But that way you can get your trim just perfect, just the way you like it, okay? So, and then you decide a feature. Pockets, do you want to put stuff in? You can add pockets if a BCD you come across you like, but it doesn't have pockets built in. You can add pockets to the straps if you want to, aftermarket. All different sizes and shapes, all different materials. Some of the BCDs now have what's called an octo pocket. You know, it's always kind of been a little cumbersome to figure out what to do with your octopus, your emergency regulator on the side. What do? There's magnet attachments. Some people fold the hose in half, stuff it through a D-ring so they can pull it out. Some people have, all different kinds of attachments you can buy to stuff the mouthpiece in, pull it off. It's just always been one of those kind of awkward things. So now some of the BCDs are coming with an octo pocket where you just slide it into kind of a layer between layers. You slide it between there, it kind of holds in there, and then you just pull it out when you need it. Okay? Some have multiple different types of dump valves. Right? You have what we call a butt dump on the lower part. If you're descending head first, you can dump your BC by pulling a cord in the back. Some have well, I'll show you, right? The lift versus the dump. This one here is your typical BCD hose, and it has a stainless steel cord on the inside that when you pull on the inflator itself, when you pull down, that cord pulls the valve that's at the top of your BCD. Okay, and that'll open it and it'll start to dump. Then you have a lever style. You have on the Aqualungs, for example, down is dump, up is inflate. So it's kind of easy to think about. You pull it up if you want to go up, you push it down if you want to go down. But that controls a little cord inside the BCD that opens the dump valve in the top. Okay? And then you have, this is the TUSA. It's called a purge assist. It's hard to see there, but on the top, in the front, you see that little button. And the orange part is the inflate. The button is the deflate. And it does the same thing. You push it down, it's spring-loaded, it pulls a little cord inside the hose, and it opens the dump valve on the top, okay? So think about those kind of features. Many people have a BCD with that steel cord on the inside. They still take it off and raise it above their head and dump that. I teach people all the time, delete. Don't do that. You don't have to do that. You open that up, air goes out, water goes in a lot. If you were to simply grab the inflator and pull down, if your BCD has that, or the one you buy should, then it opens it up and it just burps it out. A lot less water goes on the inside, okay? So also, what are you gonna carry? Are you gonna carry a flashlight, camera, GoPro, knife, a trash bag? I mean, there's all kinds of things you can carry. Redundant gear, spare computer, little dive kit. You need to figure out what you want to carry, and most BCDs can accommodate one way or another attaching those things to you. Okay, there's lots of attachment points. There's D-rings. There's a knife right there. That knife is a generic kind of knife mount on that BCD that's very comfortable. How about a whistle? Right? There you see on the chest strap, that orange thing. That's actually a whistle built right into the BCD. A secondary air source at the end of your hose. You can add those to them, but some come with them. That's a regulator. That is your octo, so you don't need the separate hose coming off the side and a separate octo, okay? So, now let's talk, all these things cost money, right? Let's talk about your budget, okay? What is it? What should it be? Is it wise just to buy the cheapest thing you can do? So I'm going to say that anybody can make something cheaper and sell it for less, okay? And the person that only considers price falls victim, right, to those providers. So I want to just say that the cheapest one might not be the best one for you to buy. And I'm not trying to sell you something expensive. I'm not selling anything here. I'm just educating. But the cheapest oftentimes are the bottom of the scale of quality, features, and functions. okay? So the most expensive might have more that you need. It might not be the one for you though, simply because of expense. They might just be charging a lot of extra for name brand. So do your research. We try to help with all of our reviews, right? So we talk about price and budget and if they're just charging more for the name, things like that. So even within the quality manufacturers, I had mentioned that some of the manufacturers, they're going to appeal to multiple customers. If they try to create a budget BC that's a little bit more budget minded, they're going to be obvious about it, but it doesn't have to go with a lot less quality. But the brands you've never heard of probably are. There are brands out there I've never heard of. I just got one in the shop yesterday. Somebody wanted to sell me. Hasn't been made for 15 years, looks brand new. And you know what? I didn't buy it. I can't service it. The company's out of business. And even though it looks brand new, you know what? They're going to sell that on eBay. So they can make a cheaper product to appeal just to somebody that money is the only object. I wouldn't consider that. So be wise when it comes there, right? Compare the features and the benefits and then match it to your type of diving. We've discussed that. And decide if you can get value out of it, if you're going to dive it for a long time, okay? Now, we also have a video that you might decide to rent for a little while. So is it better to rent or is it better to buy? Well, if you're going to buy junk, I'm telling you it's better to rent because somebody's going to give you a good BC, rent you a good BC. If you're going to buy quality and you're going to dive a lot, then it might be better to own. We have a video just for all different kinds of equipment, but owning versus renting. You know what? There's a lot of good parts and pieces to how to choose a BCD. Why don't you check out the next video here? You know, we have a lot of fun making these videos. We hope it makes you smile and we hope you learn something. And if you can think of someone else that might learn something from these videos, why don't you share it with them? You know how you can help us? Hit that like button below. That'll help us. And if by some chance you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and we'll let you know when the next one comes out. Make it a great day.